Once again, the Hempstead School District has made the news. Today's newspaper, front page, the Hempstead School District and the high school principal saying he can't vouch for the grades. The State Education Department conducted an audit and it confirmed that in excess of 2,000 quarterly grades was changed and in excess of 1,000 yearly grades was changed during the 2012-2013 school year. Here we are again, the 2013-2014 school year, and the scandal widens. Mr. Strong, a highly recommended decorated principal in the New York State education community, returns to Hempstead in an effort to bring up the graduation rate. Let's be clear, Mr. Strong served as principal in the Hempstead School District from 2003-2004 school year until his retirement, which I believe came in 2008-2009. Mr. Strong is a retiree hired as a consultant by the Board of Education against the recommendation of this current superintendent in an effort to shake up the management and bring some stability to Hempstead High School. The grade changing scandal has been described as a long-term practice in the Hempstead School District that existed before Dr. Patricia Garcia became superintendent. She ended the practice and it resumed again upon her resignation and the hiring of Susan Johnson as the superintendent of schools. Mr. Strong is not absent from his responsibility during those years he served as principal, but now he's chosen to step out and do the right thing. The superintendent of schools has excused him from the process, saying that he was not up to task to be part of the process. If Mr. Strong was not up to task to be part of the process in organizing, rectifying, and collecting the data as it relates to the grades of the children, why is he here at a daily salary in excess of $400 a day? The superintendent of schools has a contract that gives her a bonus if the graduation rate increases. It is my belief that the reason that the superintendent has a hands-on in this process is to ensure that she actually acquires that bonus. This behavior is lawless, to say the least. She is guaranteed a bonus if the graduation rate increases. The principal says that she is in direct control of the data and there's thousands of grades missing, being altered and inputted on a daily basis. People need to take a close look at this process. People need to wonder if the children have actually achieved the requirements of graduation based upon the State Education Department. I have Mr. Strong stepping out, going to the press. Those are all noble things to do. But as an educator, as a principal, as a man, as a member of this community, how do you certify the graduation if you can't verify the grades? I encourage you to step out and let them know that if every child hasn't earned a diploma, you will not give them a diploma. We do not need to just pass our children by. We do not need to give them grades so that they could just get out and to make us get bonuses and higher graduation rates. We need to ensure that every child is prepared when they leave our schools. Susan Johnson has not brought one program to the school district or the high school since she took the helm as the school district. I was a staunch supporter of Susan Johnson's. I worked extremely hard to ensure that Susan Johnson was vetted for this position as superintendent, and I am disappointed to learn the behavior that exists. Susan Johnson worked in Hewlett-Whitmere, North Shore School District as a personnel administrator. She comes to Hempstead and obviously she lost all her skills when she decided to terminate administrators and lost a case. How does a personnel expert everywhere else become a failure in the Supreme Court once they arrive to Hempstead? The community needs to look at this. They need to look at what's going on at 185 Peninsula Boulevard, and they need to understand that this is all about greater design. The Board of Education is negligent in their responsibility as far as its administration and management of Ms. Johnson. Ms. Johnson does not have a current or any evaluation on file. The rules are clear. The only job that the Board of Ed has is to evaluate the superintendent. They have not done their job. The election has caused a great deal of uproar and unrest in this community. People are wondering who won. People are wondering how things change overnight. What I will say is the district attorney's looking at that, and it needs to be looked at closely and carefully because it's something definitely going on here. What also should be looked at is how the Board of Education is using the taxpayers' money to hire individual representation for board members and the superintendent as part of this inquiry of the district attorney. This is a violation of the law. The law clearly states that a board member or employee can only be covered upon the receipt of a certificate of good conduct from the court or the Commission of Education, and it does not cover criminal matters. Everyone knows that the district attorney handles criminal matters. If any school district lawyers shows up anywhere with any person in a criminal matter, that's a violation of the law. But no one seems to care in Hempstead because they do what they want. Trustee Cross voted to give herself a lawyer. This is the type of behavior that goes on here. You have 3 board members giving away the money. Ms. Johnson makes in excess of $200,000 a year. First of all, as the superintendent of schools, I'm still trying to figure out what was her role in the election other than putting a proposed budget up to the community, and why does she need representation? Is the fact that she's requesting representation any indication of some guilt, of something that took place, some wrongdoing? If she was simply doing her job, she wouldn't even be involved. Why does she need representation? And at $200,000 a year, a district car, unlimited travel to conferences and expenses, we should not be paying for her criminal defense attorney. Furthermore, it is strange that the board is calling 1 p.m. meetings to make these appointments of these special attorneys when board members work. So the one board member that doesn't agree with them, who happens to be the only one of them with a job, she can't attend. So there's no opposition, there's no one to speak out, there's no one to point out their wrongdoings, and then on top of that, the community. Most people are working. So residents can't come out. Residents doesn't have the opportunity to say, don't spend our money like this. These are retirees on the board and people without employment. What is wrong with posting the meeting in the evening so the entire community could come out and express their discourse with what you're doing? People don't like a lot of things that I say, but guarantee you, if you research these statutes, they're all true and everything is in line. The Hempstead School District is in need of intervention. Trustee Brazeley put up a resolution to the board to get that intervention, to conduct investigations, and once again, 3, Trustee Simmons, Trustee Johnson, Trustee Cross, voted against bringing forth an investigation and getting the necessary change for our community, as Trustee Brazeley and newly elected Trustee Cook tried to do the right thing. I'm speaking out because it's the right thing to do. This is not a personal attack on anybody. The record is reflective of everything that I've said. I am definitely in the fight to make a change here in Hempstead.